I'd rather be a sparrow than a snail. Yes, I would. If I could, I surely would. I'd rather be a hammer than a nail. Yes, I would. If I only could, I surely would. Away, I'd rather sail away like a swan that's here and gone. A man gets tied up to the ground. He gives the world its saddest sound, its saddest sound.
Hey guys, great to see you. Joe here and welcome to another lesson, and thank you very much indeed for joining me. And I'd just like to take a moment to thank all of you for kind of supporting me and giving me a thumbs up or a kind of subscription or supporting me over at Patreon. It really means a great deal to me, guys. So I'd just like to kind of thank you all for that first off. So there you heard my rendition of a song by Simon and Garfunkel called El Condor Pasa. And the reason I've taken a look at this one is because I think there's something for everybody, really. So if you're just a beginner, in the first part of the lesson, I'm just going to show you how to strum through the song. Now, the kind of bigger point to the lesson, in a way, is the second half of the lesson where we take a look at the kind of finger-picked version of the song. Because whenever we come up against a very simplistic song, it's a great opportunity for us to try and explore and develop our ears and generally just our technique and all those other kind of things by trying to find the melodies within songs. Okay, so if that's something that you're interested in, then we're going to be taking a look at that in the second half of the lesson. Now, as you probably noticed, on my version there in the performance, I had a capo on the 3rd fret. And that was just purely because that's where it suits my voice, okay? So as you can see, we've taken that off now, and actually on the CD, there is no capo, okay? Let's just take a look at what the chords are, because it's very, very simplistic, okay? But the thing to bear in mind is that just because a song is simple, it doesn't mean that we can kind of go to sleep and kind of switch off in any sense of the word, because each song deserves our undivided attention, really. If you have the attitude that you're going to put everything into everything that you play, then that carries across in the performance. You know, if you're only half-hearted about something, again, that shows as well. So it's in your own interest to really invest something of yourself into whatever it is that you play and try and make it your own. So let me just fire these chords at you, and then you can, decide whether you want to stick with the lesson and follow it through to see how you can develop it, or just go away and practice this on your own, okay? So the verses essentially are just E minor and G. You all know what an E minor is, and just in case you're not sure, that's up there. And a G. Okay, so you can probably hear that. I'd rather be a sparrow than a snail. Yes, I would. If I could. Back to E minor. I surely would. Same again. I'd rather be a hammer than a G. Yes, I would. If I could. Back to E minor. I surely would. Now in the break, we just go to a C. Away. I'd rather sail away like a G that's here and gone. So this is just between C and G. A man backs to C, to the ground. He gives the world G, its saddest sound. And then we go back to an E minor, says sound. Okay, so that's kind of everything you need to know to just strum your way through the song. Okay, think of the verses being between E minor and G, and that middle section between C and G. And if you're looking for some strumming ideas, then I just suggest, depending on where you're at, it's difficult for me to kind of tell, everybody's at different stages, yeah? So if you're a beginner and you're looking to kind of find your own way, now, as you probably know, I am an advocate of kind of trying to develop your right hand without any of this up, down, up stuff, because I don't believe it's terribly helpful in you developing your own ideas and your own ears. But anyhow, that being said, okay, well, one way of playing this song in a basic kind of fashion is to just play downstrokes. So you can play little strum, big strum. So by that I mean if you get that kind of idea. As long as it's in time, it doesn't really matter. That's the most crucial thing. So as you can see, it's just going. Now once you've done that, you might start to try and put some upstrokes in, you know, and they may be kind of on the chord changes, or they may just be random, okay, but it adds a little bit of interest. So once you've got this down strum sorted out, then you can think, okay, well, I'll put a few up strums in. So you might have see, so there's a few. So we're just putting in the odd upstroke, okay? So that should be enough to kind of get you started if you're looking to just strum the song and get started with it in that sense. The bigger point of the lesson, as I say, is trying to pick out melodies from simple songs to start with. It's a good idea to do this depending upon again where you're at with your guitar playing. It's always a good idea to do this with simple songs, say 2 or 3 chord songs, because it gives you more time to kind of come up with the melody, as it were. And if you're looking for an example of this, I've covered this before in my Eleanor Rigby lesson, parts 1 and 2. In part 1 you hear a very simplistic arrangement of the song, and then in part 2 you hear a much more complex arrangement of the song. And the point is that we can make these things as simple or as complex as we want to. So I'll put a link down below to the Eleanor Rigby so you have a kind of reference, okay? Okay, so when we try and look for melody within a song, this is a very powerful exercise for developing our ears, and this is something that we should really be kind of looking to do as a guitar player, because obviously when you can hear things correctly, then it's going to help you be able to play all these different types of things you might like to play, like solos and things like that. But first of all, you've got to hear these things, and when you've developed your ears to the point where you can hear things, that's when your guitar playing really does take a huge leap in the right direction. Now, as we know, this song just has an E minor, a G and a C. So there's not a whole lot to think about in terms of chords, okay? So with the E minor being the first chord, then theoretically our first note of the melody should fall within this chord. And indeed it does. It's an E note. It's this note here on the 2nd fret of the 4th string. And so we're going to play the root with it as well. Here you'll see on my right hand with the thumb. So we're playing 2 E's there, which belongs to this E minor. Okay? So that's our first note. So where does it go after that? Right, so that sounds right. Now this is how we kind of get to this stage of being able to pick out melodies. It's just purely experimenting and taking the time and enjoying the journey, okay? So we've got, this is our first note, this is our second note, and then back to there, and then it goes to there. Sounds right, doesn't it? And this is how we build it up. We think, okay, is it this? Well, that isn't right, so That's better, so it must be that. So it's kind of process of elimination, yeah? So we've got... And so then we go into the G. So you can see I'm picking out some melody as well as putting some rhythm in. So as we know we're in a G, okay, we can pick anything in the G. Because theoretically what we're doing is we're putting in some melody notes and some rhythm. It's a combination of the two, yeah? So melody, rhythm, melody, rhythm, melody, and then we're going to the melody again. Rhythm, back to melody, rhythm, melody, and then melody again. Okay, so just so you can get all those notes and see them clearly. Into a G. Pinky down, second string, third fret. Off. On again. Off. And then we have this open B string, hammering on the third string, second fret. Okay, so it's kind of... And you know, it's down to you to kind of explore them. You don't have to play the same melody notes as me. You could play different melody notes and different rhythms. This is the point. Alright, so that's the first section. So try not to get too bogged down in the detail. The important thing here is to just understand the concept. That all we're trying to do is find some melody and then also just put some random rhythm with it, some finger picking with it. So that takes care of the verse section. And so the same thing applies when we go into the middle section. Some melody, some rhythm. Yeah, so we're just picking out some melody notes again. We've got an open B to start to take us into the C section. Then we fret our C, and we're playing the 5th and the 1st string. Bit of rhythm. So we're trying to find what those melody notes are, and again comes to this open 1st string and the 3rd fret 2nd string. And then we go down onto the 1st string, 2nd fret, and then the 3rd fret, 1st string. So we've got rhythm, melody, rhythm. There's your melody notes. Same again. And it ends on the E minor again. This little figure ends the verses and the middle section. So I'm sure you can kind of start to hear now the difference between when I'm putting the melody notes in and when I'm playing just random rhythm. So the thing to remember is obviously that the melody notes are important. Okay, so if we start hitting wrong notes within the melody, it's going to notice. But the beauty of the rhythm side of things is that as long as we are fretting the correct chord, we can pick anything. So for the G, for the E minor, for the C, okay, so whenever, we're going to be playing the chord, then that's our opportunity to do something a little bit different to what I'm doing. And that is a great opportunity for making it your own, you see. So that's another reason why that's kind of important. So just try and figure out which melody notes you would like to use, and then, fit the rhythm around that. Okay, so hopefully that helps you and kind of gives you some idea as to what you can do with a song, whether it be very, very basic or whether you're looking to try and find melody within songs. And if you found that I skated through the arrangement, the fingerpicked version, a little bit quick there and you missed a few little bits and pieces, well then you can find the tabs over at my Patreon page, and you'd also be supporting me by doing that and helping me to continue on with these lessons, which I would appreciate enormously. So I hope that helps you guys, and I look forward to seeing you soon with another lesson, and thank you very much indeed for joining me. All the best.